Denise is going to demonstrate how to do the quadruped exercise, which is a lower back exercise. This exercise is excellent for someone who wants to do lower back exercises but wants to start nice and easy. So this would be probably one of the first exercises you do before you get on one of the low back exercises where consider higher intensity. Okay, she's going to go ahead and get on her hands and knees. Okay, she's going to lift one leg straight behind her. Now with this exercise, two common errors that people do is they end up tilting and they'll do this. Okay, make sure that when you do this exercise, both hips are even. Go ahead and bring the hip down, Denise, so nice and straight. And another thing that they'll do is they may lift a little bit more, again, arching your lower back too much. So make sure that when you do the exercise, your back is just nice and straight, okay? She's looking down in between her hands. So again, coming from the head all the way down, nice straight line, okay? And what you would do is just hold this exercise. This is an isometric exercise, which means without movement. Hold it for about 15 seconds and then release. Go ahead and release the leg and just rest for about 15 seconds and then you would repeat the exercise on both sides, okay? Now, if this is too easy for you, you can add something to it to make it a little bit harder. She's going to go ahead and lift again, and she's going to add the opposite arm up in front. So nice straight line, okay? And you can see it is a little bit more difficult when you use the arm. She's not only using her lower backs, but she's also recruiting some of the upper backs and paraspinal muscles. Okay, so she holds it there for a few seconds. Go ahead and release it. And we're going to switch to the other side. Same thing, okay? When you do this exercise, you're going to focus on squeezing the leg nice and tight, squeeze the buttocks, squeeze your lower back, belly's nice and tight. Everything is strong. Okay. And release. We'll go back to the other side. Same thing again. And again, you're holding for 15 seconds. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, you can also do it without the arms. You're going to go ahead and demonstrate once again. Doing it without the arm. Try to keep the hips even when you do it. Right there. Squeeze the belly in, squeeze your buttocks. The leg is nice and tight. Everything is strong. Everything is straight. And switch legs. Okay, there you go. So you're probably even working your arms a little bit also because they are holding your posture. And this is the quadruped because you are on all four limbs. Carolina is going to demonstrate the bridge exercise, which is another exercise for your lower back. Okay, she's lying down from heel to buttocks. She wants to have about 12 inches to 18 inches. Her feet should be the same width as her hips. So when she's lifting the hips up, she's forming straight lines. Okay, so go ahead and lift the hips up. Okay, this is an isometric exercise, meaning without any movement. She's holding there for about 15 seconds. She's focusing on the legs. She's squeezing the legs, squeezing the buttocks, squeezing the lower back and the abs. Everything is nice and tight and strong. Go ahead and release. Slowly lower. Okay. We're going to repeat that exercise again. Go ahead and lift. And again, you're going to focus on what you're doing. You're squeezing everything throughout the movement. Okay, so belly, hips, lower back, the legs are nice and tight. She's forming two straight lines. Everything looks good. And this again, this is a beginner low back exercise. And slowly release. If you need to up the intensity on this one, what you can do is cross one leg over. And what you're doing now is lifting with one leg. So all of the weight is just to one leg, but the exact same exercise. And lift it up, hold it there. Again, isometric. What you're trying to do is just have a nice straight back with it, holding it for about 15 seconds. Slowly release the hips. We're going to switch sides. Okay. And back up. Okay, trying to keep your back as straight as possible. Don't let the hips fall. Everything is tight. Squeeze everything and slowly lower it. Okay, we'll go back to both legs again. Feet are nice and flat, nice and straight with the hips, and go ahead and push it up. Okay, you want to keep your upper body relaxed. So they're not using your upper body to hold yourself up. Everything from the core. Focus, squeezing everything around the midsection, abs, low back, hips. Legs are nice and strong. And slowly release. If this exercise becomes too easy, you can also add a medicine ball to it. And what Carolina is going to do is just hold the medicine ball on the hips. Okay? And go ahead and lift both legs up. Okay. A common thing that people will do with this exercise is that they'll have the ball over here, which is really cheating because they're not lifting the ball, they're holding it on their chest. So you need to make sure that it's right on top of the hips so that you are lifting the ball with your hips. Okay? And slowly lower. Okay. And let's just keep going. Go ahead and bring it back up. And one of the nice things about isometric exercises is that they are a little bit safer. You're not going through a lot of movement. So if you do have an issue with your back, the nice thing is just to do isometric. You hold it, you keep it there. Make sure that whatever range you do, that you are pain-free. All of the exercises need to be pain-free. The weight of the ball really depends on you and your fitness level. We started with the lighter ball, which is 15 kilograms. So you're feeling it in the lower back, the hips, everywhere. And you can use anything for resistance. It doesn't have to be a medicine ball. It could be an anchor weight just across your hips. It could be anything you have at home, a book. Hi, Denise, Carolina, and I are going to be demonstrating flexibility exercises that you can do before and after exercises. Now, before we get started, things to keep in mind. It should never hurt to stretch. When you do a stretch, just take it up to the point of mild tension, hold it there until you feel the muscle relax. Now, when you feel the muscle relax, that could take 10 seconds, it could take 30 seconds, maybe 60 seconds. So you just need to listen to your body to see what works for you. But as a minimum, what they recommend is at least 10 seconds. Okay, we're gonna be doing a guided flexibility session. Carolina and Denise are just gonna be following along with the exercises that I do. Okay, like with any exercise, you wanna stand with your feet shoulder width apart, your knees are relaxed, your belly's nice and tight, shoulders are open, chest open. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take a breath in, bring both of your arms up. Blow it out. One more time, go ahead and take a breath in. Just hold the arms up above, interlace your fingers, palms are up, press it up and hold it there. Nice long stretch for at least 10 seconds. Okay. So once you hold it for 10 seconds, you're gonna bring it forward. I want you to push your arms forward, bring the shoulders forward, stretching the upper back, okay? If you don't feel the stretch, you could bring your chin down into your chest to feel the stretch in your upper back, maybe even your lower back. Keep holding it there. From here, we're gonna take it to one side so that we can get the lat muscles. And again, you're holding each stretch for at least 10 seconds. We're only demonstrating with this, so it's gonna be a little bit shorter. Switch it to the other side. And that is your basic stretch for upper back. Go ahead and bring your arms behind you. Interlace the fingers. Shoulders are back. Open your chest. Stretching the front of the shoulders and chest. Depending on your flexibility level, your arms may be low, your arms may be a little bit higher. Okay, just really a little difference for each person. I want you to release the chest stretch. Bring one arm across your front and pull it in. This is the shoulder stretch. Okay. Switch arms, same stretch with the other side. Pull it in. Release the shoulder stretch. Bring one arm nice and high. Place that hand behind your back. Pat yourself in the back. And with the other arm, pull your elbow back and in. This is the tricep stretch. Again, you're pulling just the point of mild tension. You should not feel any pain. Same stretch with the other arm. Lift it up nice and high. Pat yourself in the back. Pull it back, pull it in. These are the basic stretches for your upper body. Okay. The higher the intensity of the exercise that you're going to perform, the more you should stretch beforehand. But the consensus lately is that you should not stretch too much beforehand. You should do most of your stretches afterwards, okay? Because becoming too lax can also actually increase your chance of injury. We're going to do some lower body stretches. We're going to start with the quadriceps stretch, okay? You're going to bring one heel up behind you, pull it in, okay? If you need balance, you can just bring your arm out to the side. Okay. And when you do this, you want to keep the legs next to each other and parallel to each other. So you want to bring it back a little more. There we go. And we're going to switch sides. Same stretch with the other leg. Keep holding it there. Now, some people do have a hard time doing this flexibility stretch. If you do, you can go ahead and use a rope or anything that you can use, a towel. You can wrap it around your ankle, and then you can just grab the rope instead of the leg. So rope, you can use a towel, whatever you have, just to help you with the stretching, just to assist you with the stretch. We're gonna do a hamstring stretch, and what I want you to do is take a small step forward, toes up. You're leaning forward, keeping your chest open, looking forward. Think of sticking your buttocks up. Do you feel it in the back of the leg? Even your calf? If you're flexible enough, again, you can go ahead and grab the foot, okay? If you're not flexible enough, you can use the rope again, okay? So we're just gonna put it around Denise's foot, and she's gonna hold it, okay? And that's gonna help you really keep the posture so that your knee is nice and flat and the toes are up. Because a lot of times when we try to reach, we end up bending the knee, okay? So this is just to keep the proper technique. Okay, release. We're gonna do the same thing with the other leg. Step forward, toes up, straight knee, lean forward. Think of sticking your buttocks up. And the reason why I say that is because when you keep the curvature in your lower back, you will feel the stretch all the way up the hamstring. And release. Go ahead and face each other. We're gonna stretch up the calf muscle. I want you to take a big step back. When you do this exercise, you wanna look at your back foot. You want to make sure that your toes are pointing straight forward, because if they're out to either side, you're not going to get the stretch in the middle of the muscle. You're going to bend the knee in front so that you're leaning forward, press the heel down. Gastrocnemius stretch. Same stretch with the other leg. Big step back. And release. We're gonna go ahead and get down on the mats, and the nice thing about doing the stretches in the mats is that you're able to relax a little bit more, so you can probably get even deeper into the stretches. But when you're standing, just because you're supporting your body, it makes it a little bit harder, you can't relax as much. So ladies, go ahead and lie down. We're gonna start with the basic hamstring stretch. So we're here, one leg is up in front, the other one is out to the side. Okay. Now, when you do this stretch, try not to round the upper back, okay? So depending on your fitness level, you may just be grabbing your knee and being at this level right here. If you're pretty flexible, reach all the way out and grab the foot. And then you're gonna drop your forehead towards the knee and hold it there. Keep holding it. Make sure that the toes are all the way up. Flat knee. And a common error with this stretch is that people tend to reach with just the same arm. So for example, Carolina would be reaching just with her left arm. And when you do that, you don't really get the stretch in the middle, you're getting it on the side. So you really always want to reach with the opposite hand when you do it, or both of them. Okay, switch sides, same stretch. Okay. And I think we need to help Denise. She's going to demonstrate how to use it with the rope again. Okay, and when you do it here, try not to have it too low, because then you're not pulling up on the foot, keeping it up. So nice high foot, flat knee, leaning forward. Okay, Nice, deep, relaxing breaths, holding it for at least 10 seconds. The next stretch that we're gonna do is called the piriformis stretch. And the piriformis stretch is a really good stretch for those people who have some type of sciatica problem, okay? So you're lying down, you cross one leg over. So we're here, ankle is on the knee, and you're pulling the opposite leg in. And this is gonna stretch the outside of your leg, okay? Holding it there and extending this leg up. Okay, then bring the arms to the top. And this one's a little bit harder, so you're bringing your arms on top of it. Okay, hold it there. And we're gonna switch sides. Okay. Okay, go ahead and do it over the top. And again, with the rope. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of hamstrings and we're getting the outside of the hip also. Okay, so if you wake up in the morning with low back pain, wonderful stretch. Okay, go ahead and release. Okay, this is a really good stretch to do right after the abs. Okay. From here, you're gonna bring your hips back towards your heels and you're keeping your arms forward. Nice long stretch. Okay, so go ahead and bring the hips back towards your heels. Keep the arms forward. And extend the arms. Nice long arms. Okay. And bringing the hips back. Okay. And this is stretching everywhere from lower back, paraspinals. Okay, another good stretch to do right after the abdominal exercises. Okay, you're gonna go ahead and come up on your knees and you're gonna get into what it's called a runner stretch, which is a hip flexor stretch, also hamstrings. You're gonna take a big step forward. Okay. And this is stretching the front of your hip. Okay, if you are flexible enough, you're going to lift the back foot up. You're gonna bring your arms back and you're gonna grab that foot. Same thing with this arm. Pull it in. Okay. We're going to do the same stretch with the other side. So big step forward, feeling the stretch in front of your legs. If you're flexible enough, lift the back foot, pull it in. Okay. Keeping the shoulders even with the hips. And release. Go ahead and sit down. We're going to stretch the inner thighs next. So we're sitting down, heels are together, knees are out. Okay, we're leaning forward, using your elbows to press down on the legs. So you're opening up the inner thighs. And release. If you have someone who's helping you stretch, you can get even further into the stretch. And I'm gonna use Carolina to demonstrate. Go ahead and lie down. We're gonna go ahead and stretch out her hamstrings. She's gonna extend one leg. Okay, we're gonna stretch out the other one. Straight knee, pushing up. Okay, you wanna keep this leg nice and low, and we're holding it here. Do you feel the stretch? Okay. And what she's gonna do now is that she's gonna push against me. This is called proprioceptive stretching. So she's pushing against me, push, 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 as hard as she can. Release, and then you're able to go just a little bit further with the stretch. Okay, go ahead and push some more. Push, 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 push. Harder, harder, come on, come on, come on. And release. And we take it a little bit further. Okay, did you feel the difference with that? And release. Okay. Another way that you can help somebody stretch, you can do it with their quads. Go ahead and turn over face down. And she's gonna bring both of her heels up. We're gonna go ahead and have Denise actually help Carolina. We're doing the quadricep stretch, so she's gonna go ahead and press in. Okay, up to the point where there's mild tension, and go ahead and press against her. So you're trying to extend the legs. So she's actually pushing against her hands. And release, and then try to push a little bit further in. And these are examples of, like I mentioned before, the proprioceptive stretches, which you can do with any of the muscles. But basically, you're stretching it up to the point of mild tension. Okay, then after that, the person that's being stretched will push against the arms or the hands or against the resistance. And then they would release, and you push further. The lower back is a very important area. Most people tend to neglect it, but with every exercise that you do, you are using those muscles, so they are really important. Also, when you do low back exercises, it should be one of the last exercises that you do in your routine, because if you do them initially, you're actually exhausting these muscles, and they're not going to help you really support your body as much as they can during your heavier exercises when you're doing other exercises. Okay, this machine here is the back extension machine. Denise is going to be demonstrating it, but basically she places her feet in the platform just for support. She's holding on. What you want to do is start at 90 degrees with the hips. So she's sitting up nice and straight, and she's going to push back. Go ahead and push back. Now when she pushes back, what you don't want to do is hyperextend your lower back. So when you're doing it, your belly should be just nice and straight and back up to that 90% degree, the 90 degree. Go ahead and push back again. Okay, and as you see, she's not hyperextending, she's just trying to be nice and straight, and then back to the 90 degrees. So you never go all the way down or all the way back when you're working your lower back. Okay. When you do this exercise, you're getting lower back, and you're also getting your gluteus maximus. So it actually gets both of those areas. So it is part of the core exercises. Do you feel like you're working those muscles? Lower back, gluteus? Yeah. And if you have, any irritations with your lower back or any existing conditions, you do want to start with the lower weights, and again, play it by ear. You may want to consult with one of the exercise physiologists in the wellness center or one of the exercise instructors to really guide you through it, because it is an exercise where you can easily irritate your back if you don't know what you're doing. This is a back extension machine for the lower back. This one right here is at an angle, at a 45-degree angle, but you do also have some that are horizontal. But both of them are pretty much, the same machine. Things to keep in mind with this machine, and whenever you work out your lower back, is you do not want to hyperextend the back. And we'll show that in just a minute. We'll show what I mean. Also, this here can be adjusted. So right here, you'll see that if I pull this, I can lift it up and make it higher and lower. When you get on the machine, Denise, go ahead and get on. You want to make sure that you are freeing your hips so that you have free movement with your upper body when you do it. Okay? Starting position right now, her back is nice and straight. You can have your hands across the chest. That's going to be the easier way of doing it. She's going to go down 90 degrees and back up. Okay, back down 90 degrees. Now, if she goes back past the straight, go back a little more, right there, she's hyperextending her back. And that will increase your chance of injury to your lower back. So just keep it nice and straight, all the way back 90 degrees. She's gonna stop right here. Now, if you wanna make the intensity of the exercise a little bit higher, what you can do is put your hands behind the head, and that's gonna make it a little bit harder because you are moving the weight further away from the body. Okay, and that right there makes it a little bit harder. Another nice thing about this machine, since you're not on a machine where it's moving you in a certain direction, you have free movement. So she can actually even go from side to side, so she can get one side of her back a little bit more than the other one. So you can have the hands here across the chest, you can have them behind the head. If that's easy, and even extend it in front of you. But right now she's going from side to side, and that's just getting the side of the lower back a little bit more instead of the focus being in the center. If you want to increase the resistance, you can add a medicine ball to it. So we're going to go ahead and give her 15 kgs. All right. So same exercise, just adding resistance to it. Another way in which you can make it even harder is to extend the ball in front of you. Okay. When you move the weight away from the body, it actually makes any exercise more difficult. Okay, so right there, she's getting both sides of the exercise. She can also move it to the side, so if you want to target one area of the back, and switch it to the other side. Okay. Again, keeping in mind that you don't want to arch your lower back. No hyperextension, just a normal extension of the hips and back. Okay, I'm going to take the ball away from Denise so she doesn't hurt her back. And we'll go ahead and keep showing different exercises. Okay, if with the ball it was too hard, you can bring the hands behind the back or behind the neck. Actually, that right there will make it a little bit easier because her hands are closer to the body. But if she brings them higher up, over the top, like you're doing an abdominal exercise, that right there can make it also more challenging because the weight of the arms are away from the body. Okay, so you get your lower back, you also get the gluteus maximus with this exercise. You go up strong and slowly lower it. Up strong and slowly lower it. And with any exercise, if you don't know what you're doing, make sure that you speak to one of the staff, exercise instructor, exercise physiologist at the facility. They can teach you the proper techniques of doing the exercise. Okay, if we want to up the intensity a little bit more, she can hold a ball in between her hands. Okay. Okay. And the same movement again, just adding resistance to it. And if she wants to make it even harder, she can go ahead and extend her arms out with that ball, moving the weight away from the body. And as you see, it's very hard. Okay, so for the niece, it may be easier just so that she keeps the ball across the chest for proper technique.